Today I'm going to write a Christmas classic. That sound effect makes anything sound cool. Last night I forgot to wear my retainer. We have a lot to do in this video, but before that we should get festive. As you can tell, chimney travel is not my go-to, but I am more festive now with my Santa hat, my Santa tie, and my Santa pajama pants. This is totally something I would have worn to a 2020 Zoom call. What defines a Christmas classic? Well, they are good stories with lessons about Christmas, accompanied by catchy songs that work their way into the fabric of Christmas tradition. I'm sorry, I'm just coming off of my college finals, so I'm feeling very academic. Not that I should be though, because I failed all of them. All I have to do to make a Christmas classic is write a good story and make a good song. Let's begin by finding a good story. Most every Christmas classic begins as a book, because
children love the books.
There are many different types of Christmas books. A book about children being kidnapped and taken to the North Pole on a train. A book about a grumpy old man seeing ghosts in his sleep. And a book about a green dude breaking and entering. Christmas books in general go hand in hand with the holiday. Christmas itself is centered around a book. But how do you come up with a good idea for a Christmas book? Well, Dr. Seuss looked at himself in the mirror and came up with the idea for The Grinch.
Ah, that's a good one.
I gotta go try that. Well, I got nothing. Luckily, I have something. Welcome to the deep recesses of my brain. This is where I store all of my memories. Like my yearbooks, my DS, my dog, and crew.
Hey.
But what we're looking for is this. A Very Leroy Christmas, a literary work of art held together by duct tape and cardboard. I wrote this book way back in elementary school. It's about a grumpy guy named Leroy that hates Christmas and lives on an asparagus farm. But before I read it to you, it needs some major revisions. Let's get to work.
Hey, sorry for interrupting. Isn't that annoying? What if
I was not expecting Yule logs to have ads. That's actually an ingenious idea. I should stop making videos about Christmas books and start making videos about Yule logs, because this has 2.9 million views. A Very Leroy Christmas is very bad. I'm going to need to do some major rewrites because most of this is grammatically incorrect, and I'm going to need to redraw every single page of this. Every time Leroy appears, he's drawn differently. In this page, Leroy seems to have a machine gun flamethrower. So when I first saw this, I said, okay, we're just gonna rewrite this. He's just gonna have a regular flamethrower. But then, I came to the realization that I had created probably the coolest weapon known to man. A flamethrower machine gun. That is awesome. We are keeping that for sure. In its current condition, this book will never become a Christmas classic. Luckily, I'm gonna change that. Well guys, rewriting A Very Leroy Christmas took way longer than expected, if you couldn't tell by my very disheveled look. Writing books is so hard. I'm surprised that Jeff Kinney can do it every year with Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Now that our story is complete, all we need is a song to go with it, like The Muppets Christmas Carol, one of the best Christmas movies of all time. Luckily, I know just the guy for the job. These two handsome fellas are my friends Jack and Gage. Jack and I used to work at a pizza place back in the day, and Gage and I used to make videos all the time in high school. Now he's a big-time musician. You might have seen him on TikTok singing songs.
Those times that you rain on my parade.
Or stealing your girl.
You're really hot. I'm sorry.
If there's anyone I trust to make a Christmas song, it'd be Gage and Jack.
I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
Jack, Happy Hanukkah. Gage, Merry Christmas. A Very Leroy Christmas.
Okay, what kind of, you want to make like a, what's the inspo? Got anything?
How are the creators The Grinch song?
Leroy. Alright, let's go make it, bro.
We went down to Gage's studio, where Gage prepared a beat and Jack and I wrote the lyrics.
Stinky green asparagus, man.
I'm sorry. I don't know why 4th grade me decided it was an asparagus farm. It would have been easier if it was like beans or something.
Bad.
Then we each sang a portion of the song. Mine was definitely the worst.
With your stinky green asparagus, bad.
Gage possibly produced one of the greatest Christmas songs known to man that night. He also showed me some of his other songs, and his new song, Treasure, is really good. Here's my genuine reaction to it.
That surround sound is crazy. I gotta listen to that song in a freaking IMAX theater, dude. That's crazy.
Go listen to Treasure out on December 30th.
With the song ready and the story complete, it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself to witness Christmas history as I read for the very first time A Very Leroy Christmas. A Very Leroy Christmas. This is Leroy. Leroy hates everything. Except for his 20-acre asparagus farm. Leroy lives near the town of Jingle Junction. It's Christmas in Jingle Junction, but Leroy hates Christmas. Leroy devised an original plan to stop Christmas by stealing it. On Christmas Eve, Leroy broke into every house in Jingle Junction and stole every Christmas tree, present, and turkey leg. Then Leroy climbed to the top of Mount Tysonogus to toss his stash. When he reached the peak, Leroy began to think, if people love Christmas as much as Leroy loves his asparagus farm, maybe he should return what he stole. Nah. And the bag fell down. Sadly, Leroy threw the bag onto his farm. The damage isn't that bad, maybe Leroy can rebuild. Oh, never mind, he'll never salvage this mess. And that is why you don't steal Christmas, kids.
What do you want?
You're so bad, Leroy, I wouldn't even wanna hold your hand in the farm with your stinky green asparagus bad. Leroy, 20 acres, you're still sad. Stealing all the presents, stealing up on the bag.
Bring the heat like it's fire like a Leroy. Neon on green on the beat like a keyboard. I'ma steal Christmas and I ain't gonna give it back. No, I said let me talk my snack, not a Grinch. But I got a big bag. I'ma shoot you black, then I shoot it up again. I'ma put your presents to its own accident. I'm a bad dog, shout out Max.
Hold up in red, white on a trim. Give me a cookie, I'll eat it again. Give me a milk, give me the dairy. I cannot wait till it turns January. Take a seat, boy. You want the Grinch, but it's me, boy. I steal your presents, they leave, boy. Man, I'm so bad, my name Leroy. Oh, I'm bad like I'm Leroy.
How you doing? Welcome to the Very Leroy Christmas. Leroy, you've been a very bad boy. But we don't care. It's all cool. We've had a very Leroy Christmas.
Well, what did you guys think? Just kidding, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, man, wasn't that just how the Grinch stole Christmas? Yeah, pretty much. But the ending's a little different. I was a little bit original. You see, when I wrote this as a kid, I didn't quite understand the Grinch's sudden change of heart. Literally. But after spending so much time with Leroy and his story, I'm beginning to see things a little differently. Christmas classics typically center around a redeemed Scrooge character because their positive change is the spirit of the holiday season. Think about it, the end of the year is the perfect time to throw out bad habits and start fresh. So, this year, we should all start fresh. I got some things I want to work on, and I'm sure you've got some things you want to work on. Just remember, it's never too late to start making good decisions instead of bad ones. It's never too... I said that right, that made sense. Enough with the advice. You're probably wondering, what happens to Leroy after this story? I'll let you decide. Maybe he returns to the town with cooked asparagus and a changed heart. Now we have a good story and an awesome song, but A Very Leroy Christmas is not a classic yet. That's where you come in. You see, in the description to this video, I've left a link to the book and the song. Now, you can open up the files every year and relive the joy of A Very Leroy Christmas. And maybe one day, A Very Leroy Christmas will be numbered among the classics. If you've liked this video, I've got plenty more. Go check them out and subscribe. I'll be seeing you later.
Oh, I'm bad like I'm Leroy.
How you doing? Welcome to the Very Leroy Christmas. Leroy, you've been a very bad boy. But we don't care. It's all cool. We've had a very Leroy Christmas.